3 frontier-class model releases, 1 week, 3 different companies, 3 fundamentally different bets on what matters. Moonshot AI went for raw scale. Kimi K3, reportedly 2.8 trillion total parameters, 896 experts, a 1 million token context window. Alibaba went for the enterprise. Qwen3.8-Max, tuned hard for coding and agentic workloads, with an open-weight release path attached. And Ant Group went for efficiency and permissiveness. Ling-3.0-Flash, 124 billion total parameters, roughly 5 billion active per token, shipped under a plain MIT license. The specifications are extraordinary. They also deserve scrutiny. Here's what we can actually verify and what builders should do about it. This didn't come from nowhere. On July 11, 2025, Moonshot released Kimi K3, 1 trillion total parameters, 32 billion active, 384 experts, under a modified MIT license. It was, at the time, the largest openly released mixture of experts model on record. Kimi K3 thinking followed in November. Alibaba shipped Qwen3.8-Max under Apache 2.0 the same month, then unveiled Qwen3.8-Max at its Apsara conference in September 2025, over 1 trillion parameters, but API only. Ant Group's Inclusion AI Lab released Ling-3.0-Flash 2.0, roughly 100 billion total, 6.1 billion active, under MIT, then Ling-1T in October. Each of this week's releases is the direct successor to one of those lines. Kimi K3 is the headline. If the published figures hold, 2.8 trillion total parameters makes it the largest openly distributed model ever released, nearly triple K2. The critical detail is 896 experts. That's not 896 models. In a mixture of experts architecture, a router selects a small subset per token, so inference cost tracks active parameters, not total. Higher expert counts mean finer specialization, but harder routing, more training instability, and brutal memory requirements, because every expert must be resident somewhere in your cluster. The 1 million token context window is the second claim to watch. Advertised context and usable context are historically different numbers. Independent long context benchmarks, not vendor charts, will settle that. Qwen3.8-Max is a different strategy entirely. Alibaba isn't chasing the parameter crown, it's chasing deployment. The Qwen line has been the most downloaded open-weight family on Hugging Face, and its derivative ecosystem is the largest of any base model, Western or Chinese. That's the moat. Fine-tunes, quantizations, tooling, and enterprise support contracts through Alibaba Cloud. Qwen3.8-Max targets coding and agentic tool use, the workloads with clear commercial ROI. Note the phrasing in the coverage, a strong open-weight release path. That is not the same as day one open weights. Alibaba has historically kept its max tier proprietary while open sourcing the tier below. Verify the license before you build on it. Ling-3.0-Flash is the one most builders will actually deploy. 124 billion total parameters, approximately 5 billion active per token, an activation ratio near 4%. That is aggressive sparsity, and it's the continuation of Ant Group's stated design philosophy from the Ling-2.0 technical report. Performance per activated parameter, not performance per dollar of training compute. Practically, that means a model you can serve on a single high-memory node with throughput closer to a small model than a large one. For high-volume production traffic, classification, extraction, routing, retrieval-augmented generation, that economics argument beats benchmark leaderboards. And it's MIT, plain MIT. No modified clauses, no attribution triggers, no acceptable use appendix. Licensing is where these three genuinely diverge, and it's the part most coverage skips. Ant Group's MIT license is the most permissive posture any lab at this scale has taken. Modify it, close it, resell it. No obligations beyond preserving the notice. Moonshot's K2 shipped under modified MIT, with an attribution requirement triggered above roughly 100 million monthly active users, or $100 million in monthly revenue. If K3 inherits that structure, it affects almost no one, but confirm it. Alibaba's Apache 2.0 releases are enterprise-safe and patent-protective. Its Max tier, historically, is not open at all. Read the actual file, not the blog post. Assume you want to run Kimi K3 yourself. The reported fastest path is SGLang, version 0.5.117. SGLang has become the reference serving stack for large mixture of experts models. It delivered Day 0 Kimi K2 support in July 2025, and its architecture, Radix attention for prefix cache reuse, plus expert parallel and pre-fill decode disaggregation, is specifically suited to sparse models with enormous expert counts. Be realistic about hardware. A 2.8 trillion parameter model, even quantized, requires a multi-node cluster with high bandwidth interconnect. This is not a workstation deployment. For most teams, the correct answer is calling K3 through an inference provider and self-hosting something smaller. So, the practical recommendation. If you need frontier reasoning or genuine million-token retrieval, call Kimi K3 through a hosted endpoint. Benchmark the long context claims against your own documents before you commit architecture to it. If you're building coding agents or shipping inside an enterprise procurement process, Qwen3.8-Max, with the caveat that you confirm the weights are actually released and under which terms. If you're running production traffic at volume and you control your own infrastructure, Ling-3.0-Flash. MIT license, single node feasible, 5 billion active parameters. That combination is rare. Most teams should route across all three, not pick one. Step back from the specifications, and one pattern is unmistakable. 18 months ago, the largest openly released models came from Meta and Mistral. Today, the parameter frontier in open weights is held almost entirely by Chinese labs, and they are releasing under more permissive licenses than their American counterparts. That is a strategic choice, not an accident. Open weights build ecosystems, and ecosystems build dependency. Treat every number in this cycle as provisional until independent evaluation confirms it. Vendor benchmarks have been unreliable across the entire industry in every jurisdiction. Read the model card, read the license, then run your own evals.